Okay, we're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. We are being recorded and continuing to troubleshoot our live streaming efforts. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance and salute to the New Mexico flag in English and in Spanish, as well as our acknowledgement of tribal land.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, the acknowledgement of tribal land. Thank you. We acknowledge that our Board of Education meetings are taking place on occupied indigenous land. We acknowledge the Suquet Pueblo lands and other tribal lands on which we stand. We honor these people, past, present, and future. We acknowledge the history and ongoing colonization where we are sitting right now in Mexico and in our country. We acknowledge our own place in the story of colonization. Thank you very much. We'll move on to approval of the agenda. Any changes needed? Okay, just to note that item C on our action items is an invitation to bid on miscellaneous construction tools, supplies, and hardware that we'll be approving. It's not actually a proposal, there was a typo.
I move approval of the agenda with that typo.
We have- Okay, we have a motion and a second. Who seconded? Carmen. Okay, great. Dr. Gonzalez, thank you. All those in favor of approving the agenda, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed or otherwise? Motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to induction of interpreters. You have a mic over there, Deputy Superintendent.
These are not working.
Okay.
Para asistencia de traducción en español, la señora Peña te ayudará.
Thank you very much. Now, we don't need microphones to cover School Board Showcase and celebration of Menina Otero Mariachi Ensemble. Ms. Gonzalez, are you going to do an introduction?
I am. So this is not working. This is my test the project.
Test your teacher voice.
Yeah, I'll test the teacher voice. Does this work? That's okay. That's all right. And I think there we go. Yeah. I'm going to do a quick recap. Year of the Arts and Education. 2025-2026 was an extraordinary year for visual and performing arts in Santa Fe Public Schools. Our district continues to lead the state in many ways. Notably, we guarantee that every elementary student has access to both art and music taught by licensed teachers with specialty endorsements in their field. Can you advance? At the secondary level, students have opportunities to study dance, music, theater, and visual arts. Media arts in Santa Fe Public Schools is in its nascency, and I foresee a bright future shaped by collaboration across departments, including technology, work-based learning, and career and technical education. Fine arts programs serve 82% of enrolled students at 26 schools, 82% of our kids. Next slide, please. Instruction is delivered by 84 teachers across 5 distinct art forms, each requiring specialized instructional strategies, professional development, facilities, equipment, and supplies. I was inspired by the athletics presentation and thought I would share some similar statistics. This year brought many highlights, from a record number of our oldest students at the high school level accepted into music all-state ensembles to our very youngest learners, our pre-K students, whose work was selected for an exhibition in Chicago as part of the National Art Education Association conference. A conference where I might add, 2 of our teachers presented as part of a national cohort that developed curriculum for Native Knowledge 360 and the National Museum of the American Indian, and now that's published online through the Smithsonian Institution. Beyond our achievements, and there are many, many more, every day our arts educators show up, not just with their minds, but with their creativity, discipline, craft, and heart. We also recognize important areas for growth, including increasing consistency in course offerings, expanding ability-based class pathways, delivering intentional professional development, and continuing to improve arts facilities across the district. And I'm excited to dig into this work next year. But for tonight, we turn to Mariachi Nina Otero. If you all will take your places here, and I'm just going to say a few words about our directors. Is this working? Mariachi Nina Otero is co-directed by Joseph Alcocer and Martin Sena. Joseph Alcocer is an orchestra and mariachi director at Santa Fe Public Schools and an active violinist, educator, and clinician whose work centers on culturally responsive teaching and creating meaningful musical opportunities for students. In addition to performing with Mariachi Diferencia de Santa Fe, he regularly serves as a clinician for Mariachi Espectacular events in Albuquerque and the Viva Slan Mariachi Festival in Lubbock, Texas, where he is taught alongside the Grammy Award-winning Mariachi Los Camperos. This summer, he will serve as a lead presenter at the inaugural Avanzando Mariachi Educators Conference in San Antonio, Texas. He also works with the Santa Fe Symphony Education Division and the Santa Fe Chamber Music Festival Dream Big program. Martin Sena is a longtime and respected leader in New Mexico music education. A veteran educator and accomplished trumpeter, he previously directed the band and mariachi programs at Las Vegas City Schools and has mentored generations of young musicians across the state. This year, his Nina Otero Band program earned sweepstakes recognition, reflecting his continued commitment to musical excellence and student growth. He also regularly instructs with Mariachi Espectacular in Albuquerque Summer Conference. It's an enormous summer conference. Kids from all over the state and out of state come, like hundreds of mariachi students in Albuquerque every year. Highly encourage you all to attend sometime, and of course the audience. Highly recommend it. Mariachi Nina Otero functions as an advanced ensemble made possible through Principal Valerie Apodaca's unique and student-centered approach to scheduling. It meets 4 times a week through the built-in Avid/RTI block. The program serves as both a musical ensemble and a cultural home for students, building musicianship, leadership, confidence, and pride through the traditions of mariachi music and community performance. The ensemble also serves as a pilot program that its directors hope can become a model for future mariachi education throughout the district. As mariachi programs continue to grow nationwide in response to an increasing Hispanic student population, Santa Fe's rich cultural history places the city in a unique position to help lead this movement in music education. Above all, Mariachi Nina Otero reflects a belief that music education can honor culture, strengthen community, and provide students with meaningful opportunities to see themselves represented through the arts. I give you Mariachi Nina Rosero.
President, Madam Vice President, members of the board, distinguished guests, Principal Gal, and our Associate Superintendents. It's a pleasure being here today and be able to showcase Mariachi Nina Otero. We stuck to the name Nina Otero to represent who she was and make sure that her legacy continues forever into the music. We had many options, and together with our administrators, we decided that this would be the best choice for us to continue her legacy. So I just want to say that I am really, really grateful to you for allowing us to continue teaching and providing music, mariachi music to our kids, our students. You know, we have different opportunities to do different things, but culturally, in the area that we're at and the students that we have, I think this is an excellent opportunity. I would encourage you to continue the program. The program kind of like dwindles down at the middle school, and I think it's important for it to continue out to the high school and beyond. Locally, there are a bunch of groups, there are professional mariachi groups. They're always looking for musicians, and what the best place to be able to come out of our own schools. So again, my name is Martin Sena. I'm pretty familiar with the process that goes on up here. I'm the vice chair of San Miguel County Commissioners, so I kind of know what the process of what you guys do. So it's been an honor to be able to co-teach with Mr. Alcocer. We've been able to do some amazing things together, learn together, share together, and be able to make some wonderful music. I'd like for Mr. Alcocer to say a few words. Thank you.
You've already heard many of my words, all of that writing about the program and the general idea of what we're going for. So this was a lot of the idea. So just again want to thank you so much for the opportunity. This has been a really wonderful experience. I came to Santa Fe specifically to do this program and to be around it. So thank you to Christina Gonzalez for her leadership and her tenacity in getting me out here to go and help the program. I love this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure performing for you today.
Thank you so much to the Mariachi Ensemble from Nina Otero, and thank you to the families for being here and lending your students to us for the evening. Board meetings would probably always be better if we start with a couple songs from a mariachi ensemble. You. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to public forum. Ms. Melton.
Hello. All right, so I'm going to read the rules of San Jose Public Schools Board of Education Public Forum. Public forum includes online or virtual participation as needed, as well as in-person comments when the board holds in-person meetings. Please listen and speak with respect. No uncivil conduct will be permitted. Please do not discuss any specific student who is not your own. No sharing of time. Self-monitor and observe the 3-minute time limit. You will receive a 30-second warning when your time is almost up. Public commentary and dialogue are allowed only during public forum, not throughout the meeting. Please search for answers on common ground. You may speak on any topic, whether it is on the agenda or not. Your input will be taken into consideration. Please be advised that the board may discuss your issue during the meeting. but by law, the board cannot take any action on items that are not on the agenda. Please do not discuss employee matters which may result in disciplinary action. Instead, notify the employee supervisor, the human resources department, or the superintendent. We have nobody in the virtual room signed up for public forum. I know we have 2 people signed up here to speak. Is Cody Hansen?
Good evening, my name is Toby Hansen, and I realize that the nature of this forum is not a question and answer period, but I do have a question that I hope someone can answer. What are the consequences for a district employee when they report instances of harassment of a student by a teacher? I'll tell you what they are. Having your responsibilities reassigned with 2 weeks left in the school year. Having students that you poured your heart and soul into for 8.5 months be told that they can no longer speak to you. Being asked to attend possible disciplinary meetings with a union representative. Being told that you're no longer allowed in your work location, even though you have 2 children attending that school. All because you had the audacity to follow district guidelines. From your own employee handbook, should an employee encounter such a prohibited conduct, or should an employee have knowledge of such prohibited conduct happening to another individual, it must, and you guys capitalized it, must be reported in accordance with the reporting procedures below listed in your handbook. Ironically, the next line describes when punishment should happen. Let's see what your handbook says. Anyone who is made aware of discrimination, harassment, sexual harassment, and/or retaliation and fails to report it to these procedures may be subject to disciplinary action up to and includes suspension and/or termination or discharge. Page 23 of your handbook, not mine, yours, goes on to say, after a complaint is received, a district representative will promptly conduct an investigation appropriate to the circumstances. Discussions will be held with the complainant and witnesses. What I can say is that no investigatory discussions have been held with the complainants. And finally, from page 23, again from your handbook, and this is really important, the district will not tolerate retaliation against an individual who, in good faith, reports a violation or perceived violation of these policies. It goes on to say that anyone who engages in retaliation against an individual who has in good faith reported a violation of the laws and/or our policies, whether or not one agrees with the facts reported, is subject to discipline up to and including termination of discharge for those who retaliate. The 2 individuals that are retaliated against my wife and my daughter
30 seconds.
are Janice Mulabadi, Kearney Principal, and Megan Goddard, HR Specialist. Since I originally wrote this yesterday, today there have been other actions of retaliation towards my wife and daughter. Their SFPS email has been shut down, and an email sent to members in here have been removed from that email by Megan Goddard. She has also emailed my wife and daughter to bring their technology and badges to 610 Alta Vista. And this is all because they follow district policy for the safety of the student. My question is, what are Janice and Megan trying to cover up? Here's their technology and badges.
Thank you. Next we have Matthew Pacheco signed up.
Good evening, Madam President Noble, Madam Vice President Jose, Superintendent Dr. Griffin, and members of the board, and everyone else here. Normally I would come up here and give a talk about cell phones or nicotine addiction or keeping Milagro in middle school, but I want this to be a positive and kind of share some of the things that has happened at Milagro. Sorry, I'm Matthew Pacheco, 7th grade science teacher at Milagro Middle School. We are doing really great things, and I know you saw that whenever had Milagro in here, like there were teachers and we were filling we've continued to do that. And I just want to share, like give a shout out to my principal, Ms. Baca, Mr. Van, our dean, Mr. B, and all the employees that I get to work with. And I want to thank Dr. Griffin for seeing the need for another science teacher, and we finally have a science teacher. She applied in February. She actually showed up on Monday, and so she's been shadowing me, and so now my classes won't be 36 kids. So that's kind of a relief, and I've been making it work, but you do what you gotta do for the kids. One other thing, we've been fortunate enough to go on field trips, and the kids are so appreciative of being able to get out. We took a field trip to the Sky Cinema in the rail yard, and we used public transportation because one of the things we're talking about is carbon footprint. How can we lessen our carbon footprint? Use public transportation. So it was a cool way to show them how we can physically lessen our carbon footprint. And on Monday and Tuesday, I'm actually taking my kids to Ghost Ranch. So if any of you on the board would like to come along, my email is mapacheco@sfps.k12.nm.us. So you're more than welcome to ride the bus with us and kind of see a day-to-day life of what the stress that we go through on a field trip is astronomical. Like,
30 seconds.
so if any of you would like to come, let me know, and I'll put you on the roster so we can put you on the bus chart, so all the legal grounds are covered there. So, thank you. Have a good evening.
This concludes public forum.
Thank you very much. And Ms. Melton, can I just confirm we are streaming audio only, we think?
Yeah, we're streaming audio only, but the cameras are down.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Glad we got the sound up. We will go ahead and move on to Roman numeral 5 on our agenda, the union update. Welcome, Ms. Cartier.
Good evening, Superintendent Dr. Griffin, President Noble, Vice President Jose, members of the board, and everybody else in the public. My name is Alana Cartier. I serve as a school nurse at Aspen Community School, and I am the outgoing president of NEA Santa Fe. This will be my final union update as the president. And I will be transitioning into the role of executive vice president, so I will still be part of the team. Christy Krennick, who brings extensive experience within the district and the PED, has already begun practicing her role as the new president. So we're transitioning as best we can right now. She will officially take office June 1st. So I want to express my sincere gratitude to everybody I've worked with over the last 2 years. I sincerely appreciate it. With that being said, as the school year draws to a close, I want to encourage everybody to attend as many year-end events and graduations occurring across the district. There are numerous in our neighborhood schools. As educators, we remain dedicated to guiding our students towards success as they embark on their next chapters. Finally, NEA Santa Fe continues to collaborate with SFPS on negotiating our collective bargaining agreement, and we remain optimistic about reaching a conclusion soon. And that is my final presidential union update.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your service and work with NEA Santa Fe. Okay, we'll move on to Roman numeral 6, board announcements and follow up. Any announcements from the board? Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead to Roman numeral 7, our student board members presentation. starts here?
Daphne is not here today, so Bo will be taking over the school announcements for Daphne, and I'll be taking over the presentation announcements.
Okay, marvelous.
Cool. For Capital High School, Capital is gearing up for their senior awards night, which will take place on Friday, May 15th at 6:30. 61 Capital Schools seniors have been awarded the New Mexico State Seal of Billings and Validers. And they will be celebrated during the senior award night. 6 Capital student Simon Scholars were celebrated on Saturday in Albuquerque. James Harris, Osmel Pacheco, Edmund Lopez, Mario Daphne, and Katie Marquez, Brian Chavez. Being named a Simon Scholar is considered a significant honor because it's recognized both achievement and perseverance.
For Santa Fe High School, we held our annual Honors Blue and rowing ceremony. Several of our students, I would say actually, almost all of us, received honors and awards during the ceremony as well as recognition. Our ROTC unit has been selected as the 2026 Distinguished Unit. Santa Fe High variety show nights have been successful with our talented musician teachers representing their many talents. And 22 seniors have been awarded the New Mexico State Seal of Bilingualism and Biliteracy. Many of our seniors were recognized as Simon Scholars as well.
And for ECO celebrated the end of the school year with an annual cookout. It was filled with good food and competitions. Students participated in tournaments that included a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, cornhole, and pickleball. For students who didn't want to compete with that, they had Mario Kart, karaoke, and other games. And it was a great way to reset for preparing for the exam. For Mandela, you are all invited to their 10th grade personal project fair on Monday from 12:45 to 2. Every sophomore will be sharing their personal project in the gym with all students and their greater community. On Tuesday, all students are engaging in service projects in their accumulation of stepping up and giving back. Thank you for the support for an excellent year. We look forward to seeing you at the graduation. Said in my announcements.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
And now we'll be moving on to the board presentation, and I think we go down.
Buenas tardes, good afternoon. This is on. I can use my teaching voice, or I can just also use the microphone. Buenas tardes, Presidenta Noble, Vicepresidenta José, miembros de la Junta Directiva y Superintendenta Doctora Griffin. This presentation, we're not showing it?
We don't have the presentation, we're gonna.
But do you have the presentation with you? Perfect. So this presentation is a presentation about Policy 356, which basically is about student engagement and student voice. Sorry, I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah. There it is. Nice. So that's what it is. The Policy 356 is how to engage the students thinking into using the voice and participating in the district. So on this page number 3, we have a list of the trainings that all student representatives from middle schools and high schools from our student councils have received in the last 3 years. So twice a year, representatives from student councils, middle schools and high schools go to Vietnam, and they have received a training on leadership and training on how to create surveys, and other topics. You also have a link there which says activities to some photos of their student work. And I'm gonna go specifically to this year, 25-26, because in the next slide, you'll see on the left-hand side, you have the evidence of the trainings that they received. So in the fall, in November, Mr. Villarreal and I, we co-facilitated a training. Mr. Villarreal led the leadership traits, so there's an activity with 10 polls that it was about leadership traits, how to be good leaders, so he was leading that activity. And then I co-facilitated, and then the second activity the students had was a hands-on, in which in 3 groups, all the schools had to list what extracurricular activities, what opportunities, what sports they had in their schools, like list them all, what was offered by the schools, and they were brainstorming, thinking, and some of them were seeing what was common in different schools. On the right-hand side, you'll see the pictures from the training I facilitated in March. So there was again an activity on leadership. This time was web of connectedness and talk tonight. I can do it in Spanish, no English. The web of connectedness, and it was like about teamwork and how important in the student councils it is to be part of a team and use different strengths. So they learned that piece, and in the bottom one, you'll see how they started working on selecting 3 topics for the survey and creating survey questions. So that's part of the work they did, here and here. And in the next slide, you'll see the topics that our former board members presented to the board last year are listed in the 24-25. They created a survey with those 3 topics. And then this year, from 25-26, our 3 board members selected different 3 topics: quality of the school, discipline and teacher response, and discipline and inclusivity. So now, I was gonna pass it to Daphne, and unfortunately she couldn't be here for a great reason, because she's interviewing for a scholarship. So we wish her the best, hopefully she can obtain it. So it's a great reason to not be here. But now I'm gonna pass the mic to the student board members, because they're gonna tell you what the survey was and the results and their recommendations for the board. So it's their work. Because this is a student-created survey for students. I can pass that one for you, because it's kind of.
So our first topic was quality of your school. We had 1,017 student participants, which is a great number. I think it's one of our most highly yielding surveys of this year. 60% of our students reported that classrooms or offices were uncomfortably hot or cold for more than 1 week during the year. Over 20% reported broken lockers, and 20% reported missing bathroom stall doors and other missing bathroom appliances such as soap. A little bit under 20% of our students stated that there were maintenance issues causing them to avoid certain school areas such as bathrooms. Students also reported roof leaks, out of order sinks and water fountains, foul odors, and pest sightings in schools. On the right is the breakdown. So our students recommended improving maintenance response times for repairs, such as in bathrooms, prioritizing heating, cooling, and ventilation issues across campuses, repairing broken locks, bathroom stalls, sinks, and water fountains, as well as making bathrooms more accessible, continuing to address cleanliness concerns in bathrooms and common areas, to improve systems for students to report maintenance and facility problems, increasing efforts to prevent vandalism, and students emphasized a clean and safe school in order to improve learning and school pride. Handing it off to Bo.
Hello everybody, my name is Bo Reeves. I'm the second student board member. We did this, I orchestrated this topic on discipline and inclusivity by the teachers and how the students felt by how they wanted to be by the teachers. About 68% of students said principals and teachers are handling discipline appropriately, and 32% students said discipline is not being handled the right way, and 39% students said teachers are not always treat students equally or respectfully, which is kind of interesting to think about, especially when we see, especially like older teachers coming in and retire. I can say that for my school, especially because I have an older teacher and he's getting ready to retire, and obviously they can't wait to end their teaching career. Students that identify the most destructive things in school is excessive talking, phone distractions, and students not paying attention, repeated disruptions without consequences. Mainly just inconsistent classroom environments. Students obviously want a consistent classroom environment orchestrated by a teacher. If you can go to the next slide. Oh yeah, I got you. Obviously, students want something that is fair, consistent, respectful, and applied to all students equally, which is obviously fair, but we're not always there to monitor teachers, so I don't know how we would solve that. And students recommend a more restorative conversations before severe punishment. Things like school suspension, parent involvement, and clear consequences for repeated behavior issues. Obviously, intervention before increased behavior before something worse happens. And students emphasize that stronger teacher-student relationships improve classroom behavior and engagement. Me personally, I can say that is something I can agree with.
And this is my topic, which was discipline and inclusivity in schools. Very similar to Bo's. The majority of students reported mixed experiences regarding inclusion and belonging at school. It was mostly 50-50. The average student reported on school inclusion, average student scale reporting on school inclusion was 3 out of 5. And 16% of our students rated their sense of inclusion on low, which is 1 to 2 out of 5 on a scale voting system. The majority of students' concerns revolved around bullying, favoritism, unequal treatment among student groups, and lack of student voice in school decisions, which I believe this is helping to combat. Some students reported feeling disconnected from school activities and their programs, and reported additionally programs being inaccessible or unknown to a bunch of students. I learned about at least 10 new programs that my school offered during the robing ceremony yesterday that I wasn't aware of. Students also expressed interest in stronger peer support and mental health resources. Students mostly recommended increased opportunities for student voice in school decisions and campus decisions, so the surveys are working and we want more of them. Expand programs that encourage belonging, leadership, and peer connection, kind of in tune with that school spirit that we saw earlier, and continued improving access to counselors and mental health resources. I know that several counselors this year at Santa Fe High are quitting. Encourage staff training focuses on inclusivity, respectful communication, and student engagement. The students want promoted restorative practices that build accountability while maintaining student dignity. Increased awareness campaigns focused on kindness, inclusion, and positive school cultures. And student emphasize that stronger relationships between student and staff improve overall climate. This is last year's survey.
So besides the, like I say, this is a survey created by students for students. The respondents were students in grades 6 to 12, middle school and high school, from all our middle schools and high schools, including the K-8s. We included 3 more questions with the topics from last year, just to compare and see if the students felt that things have been improved. So maybe the numbers are too small over there, but what they have is a 3 questions only on the 3 topics. The first topic was quality of school meals from last year. The second topic was cleanliness and maintenance of the schools. And the third topic was feeling supported at school. So we were basically asking them, compared to last year, how do you think, are things improving for this year or not? And these are the responses. So basically in the quality of school meals, you'll see that there's like a 43.2%, that is like no change. And then between 4 and 5, because this is a scale from much worse to much improved. So if we add 4 and 5, with 5 is much improved, it will be about 22.4%. In the cleanliness and maintenance of the schools, again, there was from much worse to much improved. 43.1% was like neutral, and then in the much improved, it was between 4 and 5 is 32.8 in the responses. And feeling supported at school, which is kind of like also linked to one of the topics from this year. Do you feel that you're belonging? Do you feel included? The responses were, we had also a high number of 43%, like no change, and in the 4 and 5 scales, with 5 being much more supported and 1 being much less supported, it will be around 36.9. These responses had a little bit more, and the reason why is that I left it open, and then when the students did the work, there was 1,017 responses, and now we collected 1,025 up to yesterday, and I closed it. But it has been a great response from the students, and hopefully we can continue offering here not only their voice, but the recommendations. So thank you for listening to us. If you have any questions for us.
Okay, thank you very much. That's wonderful. Love this. And the comparison to last year is much appreciated. Questions from the board? Comments? Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, President Noble. No questions, just want to say thank you. I really enjoyed all of your monthly survey updates. I appreciate all of the work you put into that, and having the end of year presentation is great. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Congratulations. I guess we've reached the end of the year. Really appreciate your work and being with us this year.
Our last board meeting is sad.
It is sad. We really appreciate you and the questions and engagement, and we will be, frankly, worse off without you.
Thank you guys so much.
Okay, we'll move on to our budget, our superintendent announcements and follow-up. Superintendent.
Thank you, President Noble. I actually have no announcements tonight. I'm going to save them for the next board meeting.
Fair enough. All right. We'll move on to item 9 on our agenda, our budget presentation and action item, the 2026-2027 Santa Fe Public Schools operating budget. Dr. Griffin?
All right, thank you everyone, Board President Noble, Superintendent Dr. Griffin. But hopefully it will be the last presentation, and you won't have to see me for a while, but I did bring a couple of team members again, ones that really do a lot of the, most of the work. I just kind of oversee. We have Regina Mascareñas, who's our Director of Operational Budget, and Beverly Aguilar, who's our Deputy CFO. So what we decided, the last couple presentations have been focusing rightly so on the operational budget. But what we thought we would do is kind of go over the other funds that are within the what you'll be approving, and that's our operating budget. And there's several different funds, each with their different